So Simmers, my name is Darth Jeswick, and welcome back to Wednesdays with the Waffles. We're getting really close to the end of Cherry's time, so I'm just trying to make the most of it by knitting a bunch of stuff to put in our wardrobe and just kind of like clutter items to put around so that we can bring those along with us when we go to the next house. So far, we have a knitted pair of socks for each one of the twins. And right now she's currently knitting a like jumper and like sweater dress combination, like the one she's wearing, just in a different color. We had like no food in the house aside from like some slowly spoiling prepped ingredients, so I had Belgian start making some tuna maki rolls, and honestly, they look delicious. I would love to try them one day. Unless it has like shellfish in it, because my husband is allergic to that, and like that's really not safe. But anyway, they look good. I did have to move the waffle maker. They kept prepping food on that first counter there, and then the food would get stuck inside the waffle maker, so they couldn't finish the food, and it would just like spoil. But as for Maple and Nutmeg, currently Maple is learning how to play the violin, and Nutmeg is experimenting on the science table, just trying to get some mental and creative skills up, as well as like some possible future endeavors. I do think it would be cool to try and like play music for money in the next part of this Let's Play, so getting their violin skill up is a start. You do have to be careful with these science tables because they will catch on fire, so I was kind of like watching her and didn't really pay attention, but our dishwasher broke, so I had Belgian repair that, and then Cherry then finished the brown and yellow women's sweater dress, and I added that to our wardrobe. I also kind of forgot to mention that it's also New Year's Eve in my game, so I had to set some resolutions. I don't know if you just saw that, but a butterfly just like flew across the screen. I don't know how it's inside the house, but it is. Anyway, I had all of our Sims set the same resolution to raise a skill, just because that usually really helps us, and it's really easy because that's what we're doing anyway, we're just raising skills. For Belgian, however, I did set the new partner resolution, so hopefully we'll find her a new partner within like the next 7 days, I think. By the end of this episode, I only played like 2.5 days, so it should be like fine. We should have plenty of time. Belgian was feeling very energized, so I had her do a mind-concentrating yoga routine, and Cherry even joined her to do a few yoga poses. I thought that was very sweet. We are playing on short lifespans, so we don't really have a lot of time to spend with our Sims. I usually only record for like a day or two, so we really don't have that much time left with her, and I'm really sad because she's like my favorite legacy challenge that I've ever done. We also discovered that Belgian likes focus music. She's been listening to it a lot just for her aspiration, so it makes sense that she does. Since we still didn't really have a lot of food in the house, I had Cherry cook some ribs on the grill while Maple like told her some funny stories and got her social need up, as well as like asked for some advice from Cherry. I also got a few of these advice pop-ups. The first one says, Maple is not feeling smart enough. She's been doing these few homework assignments and she just feels like it's really hard, and she insists that she's not smart enough, but Cherry says that you should just keep at it and practice makes perfect. Nutmeg also got one of these advice pop-ups about an unwelcome present. She got a present that she doesn't really like, and she was wondering if she should give it back or like trade it with a friend. And Belgian told her to be grateful and that the present was hers, so she shouldn't be giving it back or giving it away. I then had the girls play some chess just for their mental skill, and Nutmeg has the WizKid aspiration, so she needs to play 3 games of chess for that aspiration. Maple, on the other hand, has the social butterfly aspiration, so we'll have to get out and meet some people and make some friends. And speaking of making friends, the girls were able to become best friends because they have a full relationship bar and they had a cute little moment. I really don't do a lot of family gameplay, so having my 2 kids be best friends was probably a first for me. Like, I know I've had my kids be like friends before, but never like best friends. And while we're on the subject of having friends, Cherry and Belgian also became best friends, and it was pretty cute. It's adorable. They're hugging in front of the urn. It's a little tragic, but also, we're going to lose Cherry in a few days, so it's going to be sad. I also put out our Wisp Void Critter and our Bubbles from Winterfest in the girls' room on their desk. I caught this fun little moment of Belgian and Maple celebrating their holiday traditions, so I thought that was fun to include here. They were like doing it at the exact same time. Nutmeg, however, was just out here singing to herself, so I had Belgian go out there and swim in the pool just to keep her a little company and to listen to her singing. But other than that, I thought it would be fun to get out of the house for a little while. We haven't really done anything outside of the house in like a few episodes, so I took the girls to the park, and then I invited Lucas Munch along for Belgian to possibly date. We'll give him like a full makeover, obviously, because like, wow. But we'll fix him. Belgian also has the beguiling reward trait and was able to make Lucas flirty and get him like in the mood to go on a date. I sent Cherry off to knit in the like little house thing that's on this lot. I don't really know what it's called, just like a little waiting room, I guess, while the girls played on the Space Jungle Gym and even met a few kids. We've got Sean Delgado, Valeria Faust, and Ryan Laurent, who is now a teen in my game. So he's like out of the question for now, at least as far as dating goes. Like, it's fine if they're like a few days ahead of each other, but at this point with short lifespan, he's going to be like a young adult. And it'd be really weird if he like hung around like some young kids while he was a teen. I don't really like that. Nutmeg was playing on the monkey bars while Maple was just throwing paint all over the place, making a huge mess. I did make her clean it up just for her responsibility. And then I checked in with Belgian. She did kind of like go into the little house thing to talk to Cherry for a little while, but I eventually got her back on the date with Lucas and just kind of like had them flirt and like get to know each other a little bit more. Basically just trying to get their romance bar up just a little bit more because it wasn't quite high enough, but you could see he's kind of flirty there. He's like throwing his hair back and stuff. I can't wait to get the Love Struck expansion pack. At this point, I don't have it. It's the Friday after it released. There was another kid that was just playing chess all by herself, so I had Nutmeg join the game. Her name is JC Goldblum, and she's now a teen in the game, but she does have good compatibility with Nutmeg, so I might have them become friends later on. They were over here kind of just celebrating at the table and getting into the holiday spirit, so I wanted to send everybody home because it was getting a little bit late and I wanted to catch the midnight countdown on the TV. But by the time I had everybody like get home, they were just too exhausted and everybody went straight to bed. Despite not getting to the midnight countdown, they still had an excellent holiday, which is good because I really don't celebrate the holidays that often when I do these Let's Plays, just because they kind of annoy me. But I wanted to do it with this family just because I really don't do it in anything else. Maple and Nutmeg's other mom, Lana, also showed up around midnight and started using the computer, which is fine. At least she didn't like possess it and break it like she did with the toilet earlier. She also just immediately started making a bunch of vanilla cakes because apparently I cannot escape that glitch. They also ended up woohooing a little bit after flirting for a few minutes. I'm also worried that like Lana will haunt Belgian if she ends up dating somebody else, so I'm kind of nervous about that. Maybe I should like let her spirit go, but I also kind of like having the ghost in the house because it's funny. The next morning was the first day of spring, so we're finally out of the cold weather, so hopefully everybody will stop changing into their cold weather outfits while they're inside. I really don't know why they're doing that. All the rooms that I have in this house are actual rooms, so I really don't know what's going on with that. Nutmeg was the first kid up, and I didn't really have like breakfast food in the house, so I had her just make some oatmeal. After that, Maple and Cherry both woke up, and then I just had Cherry start making like some breakfast scrambles, and Maple had a like little toaster pastry. I'm proud of myself. I'm actually getting some use out of these appliances. I usually just put the microwave there for decoration, and I never actually use it. After the girls had breakfast, I had them start working on some skills, so I had Nutmeg jump in the pool and go for a little swim, while Maple was experimenting on the science table just to get her mental skill up. And then Cherry's good old friend Duke Raymond from the Sul Sul TV show invited us out to the flea market to watch a performance done by Mae Prescott. I was kind of surprised to see her there. She's one of Belgian's friends, I believe. But we also just had the girls play some basketball, and I also checked out some of the items that were being sold here at the flea market. I didn't really see anything that we needed. We have a lot of money, so we can buy all the stuff that's here on our own volition. We really don't need to go to the flea market and get a discounted price because we have tons of money. Also, you can see Maple is really stinky, so we headed home to take a shower. I also had Belgian host a private yoga class for Cherry and the twins, but the twins just ended up dancing along to the music instead, which is fine. I don't know why it wouldn't work for them. We have enough yoga mats, so I don't know why it wouldn't let me. It was weird. And they had a pretty relaxing rest of their Sunday. I just sent them to sleep afterward because they were really tired from just playing basketball all day and going out and going to the flea market. It was kind of exhausting for our other Sims as well. So I was just having the girls work on their social skill. It's like 5:30 the next morning around this point. on a Monday. They were a little hungry, so I did have them go and grab some of the leftover breakfast scrambles, while Belgian just kind of made some more fresh food to have in the house. We only had like a few things. It says in my notes here that she was also making a breakfast scramble, but it looks like lettuce to me that she's cutting up, so I really don't know what she was making. I really wanted to try and get a picture of Nutmeg, Maple, and Belgian all sitting at the table together, but Nutmeg never sat down. It's Monday, so we also got our mail delivered. We have to pay 1,957 simoleons in bills, which is not really that bad. We have like quite a bit of money saved up, so it's not a huge dent in our pocketbook, I guess. Cherry is our legacy matriarch, so I'm really not ready to like see her go just yet. But I think I will end this episode here just so we don't have to say goodbye. But if you want to check out my Sims skills and see where they're at, you can check that out right now. I have Belgians on the screen currently. I also think I'm going to step away from the builds just for a few weeks possibly and just kind of focus on our Let's Plays and the Wednesdays with the Waffles. I've been crazy busy at work lately and I just haven't really had the time to sit down and record a build video. But I will get back to it. But that is all the time I have for this week's episode of Wednesdays with the Waffles. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop it a like because it really helps out. I try to upload a few times a week, so subscribe and hit the bell button to get a notification every time I post a new video. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you all in the next one. Dag dag!